We'll be going back to the Olympic Games when ABC resumes its coverage in 1/2 hour. Coming up, a special edition of Channel 7 News. Suspicions that the so-called suspects in the Green River murders are simply lying grow stronger tonight.
And we'll go shark hunting off the San Mateo County coast. Then we'll go live to Los Angeles to hunt for a perfect suit of clothing for Bob MacKenzie.
And John Buren will join us with the big day in sports. Beverly Johnson updates the weather all next. Channel 7 News.
And Mervyn's today.
You know what's great about Mervyn's? They carry all my favorite brands in lots of styles and colors, like Levi's activewear.
Hey, these look great.
Everything here matches. Even you can't miss. Here, try this Levi's outfit.
Okay. What do you think?
You're a hit!
It's 25% off, too.
The next stop is the dress department. Good selection at reasonable prices. That's value at Mervyn's today.
The Grand Coulee Dam, built to harness the power of the Columbia River and provide electricity for millions. That took bold imagination, and it made this country grow. Today, I see that same kind of imagination in hundreds of small to mid-sized companies whose new ideas, new jobs, and new technologies will continue to build America. At First Jersey Securities, we specialize in discovering such emerging growth companies for today's investors with vision. First Jersey Securities, come grow with us.
Like you, we're proud of the dedication and commitment of America's world-class athletes. But for one in particular, we at Dole have a special feeling. We've worked with Joan Benoit on health and fitness programs for some time now, and we've come to admire her special dedication. Perhaps that's why her achievements make us so proud, because we feel we're part of them too. We're proud of Joan and the millions like her for whom health and fitness are the ultimate victory.
A Lifetime Alone in Chinatown, Sunday at 9:30.
Now, Channel 7 News Tonight with Pete Wilson, Susan Gregory, meteorologist Pete Giddings, and John Buren with sports.
Good evening. No, they aren't the Green River Killers. That is the latest line from Richard Carboni and Robert Mathias. But just 2 days ago, they insisted they'd killed 18 young women in the Seattle area. So how can we be sure this recanted confession is true? And perhaps more importantly, what possessed a couple of small-time guys to confess to a brutal serial crime spree? Ana Chavez has more on this curious puzzle tonight.
We're relatively certain that what we're looking at this point is a fabrication, although there are some loose ends that we still intend to verify to tie up.
Police detectives from Seattle, Washington have treated the media murder confessions of Robert Mathias and Richard Carboni with skepticism, in part because the men have revealed nothing they couldn't have learned from news reports about the Green River case. Also because the two men who live in the Bay Area would have had extremely limited access to victims in the Pacific Northwest. Richard Carboni has spent almost all of the last 11 years in prison, and Robert Mathias faces charges for crimes committed in San Francisco over the past 2 years. Today, neighbors of Robert Mathias told me he rarely traveled, that he always seemed to be at home with his wife. Diane Mathias was stunned by her husband's public confession, and she said she didn't know the man who claimed to be a good friend and an accomplice of her husband.
This is the first time I've heard of Richard Carboni, besides the news media, from the rape case, so. I really don't know anything that's going on. I don't.
Diane Mathias, like most other people, can't imagine what motive was behind the bizarre confessions. From San Francisco, Ana Chavez, Channel 7 News.
And another story tonight of considerable concern. San Jose police turning to the public tonight for help in locating a missing 13-year-old girl. Shauna Johnson was shopping with her family at a flea market Sunday afternoon. She went off for a moment to look at some jewelry. She hasn't been seen since. Police are treating that disappearance as something more than routine and do not believe she is a runaway. Her parents feel Shauna wouldn't vanish of her own free will.
We tried contacting everybody that she might know or contact or might know where she is. Nobody's heard from her. Nobody's seen her.
That family has been going through that pain for 4 days now. Shauna Johnson is 5'4", 13 years old, brown hair, brown eyes, weighing 110 pounds. Anyone with information about her, especially those who were at the Berryessa Road Flea Market last Sunday, urge please to contact San Jose Police. Susan.
Fire units from all over the East Bay area are still mopping up at the scene of a grass fire burning in Niles Canyon near Fremont this evening. Aerial tankers were called in right after the first alarm about 3:30 this afternoon. Some homes in the area were threatened for a short time, but enough firefighters from surrounding Alameda County districts were on hand to beat back the flames. Highway 84 through Niles Canyon had to be closed between Mission Boulevard and Sunol Road. The fire scorched more than 125 acres near Fremont, and once it is under control, investigators certainly will be checking into that fire to see if it was deliberately set. Vowing to carry on their fight, the political activists of Oakland's Uhuru House seem to have accepted a defeat. Supporters of the black community group rallied yesterday promising to resist eviction. Uhuru House has been in a rent dispute for months with its landlords, and yesterday was the court-imposed deadline for eviction. But sheriff's deputies waited until today when the crowds had gone. Uhuru House set up shop down the street. Deputies say that when they entered today, the place had been trashed. Will there be charges?
I can tell you that when we came out here to post the eviction notice on the 31st, the building was not in the condition it is now. It has been wrecked inside.
Uhuru House says that its people will picket its former landlords. In other news tonight, Channel 7 has learned of 2 new shark sightings along the Northern California coast. Last week, it was Stinson Beach where great whites were spotted, but tonight, Channel 7's Lee McCarran reports that the sightings have shifted to the San Mateo County coast.
At about 8:30 this morning, a fisherman spotted what he said was a great white shark in the waters here near the Pacifica Pier. He estimated it to be about 12 feet long, and he said it was cruising on the surface just about 20 feet offshore, and only about 200 yards from a couple of surfers who apparently had no idea the shark was there. And yesterday, fisherman Jimmy Meatball Williams in his boat Buccaneer attempted unsuccessfully to net a great white he spotted off Pedro Point. Via marine radio, he told us about the 2 recent sightings.
A great white down there right off of Stinson Beach there.
He saw one this morning?
Yeah, we laid out around one yesterday, but it was in too deep a water. He went underneath the net.
Steinhardt Aquarium Director and white shark expert Dr. John McCosker today conducted an observation by boat of both the San Mateo and Marin coastlines.
Let's look at the behavior of the other animals that a white shark would be interested in, the sea lions and seals, and when they are acting very abnormally, huddling nervously on the beach, refusing to go into the water, that's a clue that they have a feeling there might be a white shark out here. We haven't seen that, so Meatball Williams nearly had a white shark in his net off Pedro Point, and this morning we heard of a fish right off the Pacifica Pier.
Both down in San Mateo County, quite a ways from Stinson.
Well, there's white sharks all along the coastline. There's no reason that they should single out Stinson Beach, and they haven't.
Stinson Beach is of special concern simply because so many people are in the water here. So a great white shark sighting is worrisome, to most people anyway.
There are no sharks out here. Ever since a 16-year-old kid.
Yeah, ever since the guy, the surfer down there spotted one. What hasn't been seen out here?
It's a bunch of bull.
At Stinson Beach, Lee McCarran, Channel 7 News.
Well, whatever the surfers may think, officials at Stinson Beach are keeping the shark alert in effect at least through the weekend. So please be careful.
Right. Well, some people think, Susan, that one of the problems in the waters off Stinson Beach, and for that matter the whole Bay Area, are the result of upsets in the ecology. Channel 7's Ed Leslie has a report on evidence that may point to gillnet fishermen as the illegal culprits.
The latest apparent gillnet victims are 1 harbor seal and 2 dolphin. The harbor seal washing ashore dead here at Stinson Beach, and the 2 dolphin washing ashore at Ocean Beach in San Francisco. Dr. Ray Dieter, a marine veterinarian, has been studying marine mammal mortality on this part of the coast for years, and he has gathered scientific evidence of an annual pattern.
Okay, basically 3 years ago I started a study that was looking at beach marine mammals along the coast of Marin. And what it's been averaging, I'm averaging about 2 animals per month. Harbor porpoise, common dolphin, sea lion, harbor seal, something like that. When the time of halibut season comes around, which is the time right now, and the gillnet boats appear off the coast, the number of animals that come into the ocean coast jump anywhere from 6 to 13 animals per month, rather than just the 2 animals per month. Of the animals I looked at in the last 3 years, 55% of those animals have been killed by gill nets.
Nets leave graphic and unmistakable evidence, like noose marks. Dr. Dieter has compiled a mass of scientific facts on the problem, facts which the state legislature in Sacramento should be interested in when the annual cry for gillnet control is raised again. In San Francisco, Ed Leslie, Channel 7 News.
And coming up next, Channel 7's John Buren will join us with an Olympics update and highlights of the day in sports, Olympics and non-Olympics.
Baseball, and we'll tell you about the scores in the 2 soccer games that are going on. First, though, of course, this evening's Major League Baseball results.
It is after midnight, and this man is possessed by hunger. A hunger so powerful, it will drive him into another dimension, known as the Midnight Zone. There is only one place where he can find the juicy, flame-broiled Whopper he craves after midnight, a place called Burger King. Very soon, you too will know hunger in the night. You too will drive through the Midnight Zone at Burger King.
Are you sure this is a good idea?
Of course I'm sure. We'll be the very first people.
This weekend, Bruner's entire $75 million inventory will be on sale.
But they'll be open all day Saturday and Sunday.
And we don't want to miss a minute of it.
You'll save on all Bruner's furniture, carpeting, china, linens, everything for your home.
I don't know. I just think this is going too far.
Bruner's 2-day sale. We're closed Friday, open Saturday 8 to 10, Sunday 10 to 6.
What do you want to buy first?
How about a bed?
When General Electric was choosing a charge card to issue to their executives, they needed one honored at hotels, restaurants, and airlines worldwide. One that gave their executives financial freedom with its flexible spending limit. One that's now backed by a financial leader, Citicorp. The card they chose to plug into was the Diners Club card. So apply for one, because the bright idea that works for the executives at GE will work for you. The new Citicorp Diners Club, when you mean business.
A lifetime of getting ready.
To make the Olympics, you gotta be great.
Getting ready for one moment.
Believe in yourself. You gotta run every night and every morning. You're fast, Eddie. Real fast.
As an official sponsor of the 1984 U.S. Olympic team, Safeway is proud to put good food on their training tables.
Drive those legs. Your daddy and I are so proud. You can do it.
We're America's favorite food store, and we're proud to be part of their lives.
There have been several big nights. I think they've all been big nights in the Olympics so far. This may be the biggest.
Carl Lewis got his 3rd gold medal. United States winning in the semifinals of the basketball as expected. And Greg Louganis, finest diver perhaps in the history of that sport. Gold medal off the springboard. Once again, we ought to talk about why we can't show you pictures of all that right now. Wouldn't that be a good idea? That's the embargo. We can't do that right now. We'll show that to you on the 11 o'clock edition of Channel 7 News, but we're not allowed to show you pictures of those events that happened today on this newscast. Along with those events that I just mentioned, also today, the semifinals of the Olympic soccer competition. Italy and Brazil are playing at Stanford right now. They are at the 28-minute mark of the first half. There is no score in that semifinal contest. At Pasadena at the Rose Bowl this evening, in overtime, France beat Yugoslavia, so France goes into the finals to play the winner of the Italy-Brazil game. The Olympic championship match in soccer will be Saturday, 7 p.m. at the Rose Bowl. In baseball today, A's finished up a 10-game homestand. They beat the Twins by 5 runs, take this one home half of the 5th inning. A's are on the lead 1-0. Mike Heath up there. Get back, Jack. Center field. Kirby Puckett going to the wall. It's gone. History. Vapor. Get out. Number 11 on the year for Mike Heath as the A's go up 2-0. Go bottom of the 8th. A's have got runners at 1st and 3rd. Lansford at 1st. Tony Phillips at 3rd. Kingman at the plate. Drills one left field. Mickey Hatcher going over slips as he makes the play. Phillips in to make it 3-0 A's. Lansford will get around. It's going to be 4-0 Oakland A's. Final from the Coliseum shakes out 5-0 home team. Bill Caudle and Ray Burris combined on a 4-hit shutout. Caudle worked the final 2 innings to get his 25th save of the year. That is a new club record, and Caudle says that that record is something that he came into this season shooting at.
And in spring training, I set my goals to break a record this year, and I didn't think I'd do it this early in August. Got a lot of season left, but it meant a lot more to me if that game today would have put us in first place. So we've got a lot of games left, but we've got to win 7 out of every 10 ball games we play, and if we can do that, maybe we can keep a division here in Oakland.
Okay, Bill Caudle and the A's 5-0 winners today against the Twins. The Giants are playing the Astros in the Dome right now. 6-6, they're tied up after 11 full. The race in the National League East widened out another notch today. The Cubs beat the Mets. That is 6 in a row for Chicago. Keith Moreland of the Cubs has got to be the hottest player in big league ball right now. 4 ought to be high today for Moreland. Bottom of the third, you got Moreland. Cuts one right field. Bob Dernier scores 1-0 Cubs. Bottom of the fifth, Moreland again. A line drive left field. That drove in Dernier and Sandberg. It'll be 3-1 Chicago Cubs. Go to the home half of the seventh. Moreland again sends another one going into the opposite field. Cuts it right field. Mike Crowley coming into the plate and says, baby, I'm going to be safe. Yeah, you are. Cubs won the ball game, but they got to throw at each other. Get down, George Foster. Lee Smith threw that one. They ejected him. Bob Dernier looking at Walt Terrell. Terrell's going to stick one in his ear. I'm telling you, that can be harmful to your health, gang. They threw Terrell out of the ball game. He's got something to say to a fan. The fan came after him. They threw the fan out. Chicago Cubs won the baseball game 7-6, the final. Cubs now up 4.5 games in the National League East. Coming up on Channel 7 News at 11 o'clock tonight, we will have an extensive recap of today's Olympic competition. One athlete who will not make a whole lot of highlight reels, but probably should, though, is a young lady from New Zealand named Neroli Fairhall. She is a paraplegic, and she is an Olympic archer. First paraplegic in the history of the Olympic competition. For New Zealand, 1969, she sent her motorbike off of a cliff. 70 feet, snapped her spinal column. It took them 21 hours to rescue her, but she has fought back. She won her country's national title, and despite her disability, Neroli Fairhall has made it all the way to the games of the 23rd Summer Olympiad.
I've never been very much of a spectator. I've been much more of a participator.
We want her to be treated as a normal Olympian, which she is essentially.
I just like to do my best, yeah. Better than my best, perhaps.
Neroli Fairhall, who is not in the top 15 after 72 arrows, but, you know, this is a cliche, a winner whether you win or lose. That young lady certainly proved a point for every disabled person on this planet at this Olympiad. See you this evening on the 11 o'clock edition.
All right,
we'll
John,
be back.
thanks. Coming up next as Channel 7 News continues the 10-year anniversary of Richard Nixon's history-making resignation from the highest office in the land.
Welcome to La KGO Fall. Everything you've ever wanted in a Broadway musical, but nothing you'd expect. Winner of 6 1984 Tony Awards, including Best Musical.
Starring in person, the original Broadway star Gene Barry. Now through September 1st only.
At the Golden Gate Theater.
It isn't easy to buy a Saab. Other cars promise the reassurance of status, or the security of practicality, or the panache of performance. Yet for all those who find it far easier to follow the wisdom of the crowd, there are a growing number willing to follow their own wisdom.
Test drive a Saab at your Bay Area Saab dealer.
Guess who's out front?
The Roundtable Quality Inspector.
Surprise exam.
Frozen pizza dough? I can't make a Roundtable pizza with this.
You know how Roundtable insists on fresh pizza sauce.
But that's canned sauce.
And the best mozzarella.
Imitation cheese.
You'll fail the exam. Fail the exam. Fail.
Still having that nightmare, huh?
Roundtable, one of the last honest pizzas. A new age of engine protection has dawned. A major advance in motor oil technology. Introducing new Exxon Uniflow. Completely reformulated to give super premium protection to every car on the road today. Every gasoline, every turbo, every diesel, every car. New Exxon Uniflow. Our most advanced protection ever. From Exxon. Quality you can count on.
Jurors in the John DeLorean trial will begin a second day of deliberations tomorrow. They started debating the case this morning after testimony that has dragged on now for 5 months. DeLorean is accused of conspiring in a $24 million cocaine deal. Jurors have been seeing 65 videotapes of his conversation with undercover government agents. The tapes allegedly show his involvement in a drug deal, but the judge told jurors today that if they feel DeLorean was a victim of entrapment, they must find him innocent. If he is convicted on all charges, DeLorean could face up to 67 years in prison. Meanwhile, a Berkeley man's $500,000 lawsuit against Pan American World Airways comes to a trial next week. Herbert Howard charges that the airline was discriminating against him and discriminating against a handicap. He suffers from Lou Gehrig's disease and depends on his battery-powered wheelchair. He says that Pan Am refused to fly the chair and had him bodily thrown off the plane.
I'm asking for damages to me for the inconvenience and pain and suffering they caused me. And I'm also trying essentially to get Pan American to change its policies and give people in wheelchairs and other people better treatment. I've spoken to a number of people who are disabled who've had similar experiences with Pan Am.
Mr. Howard says that when he was bumped by Pan Am, he had to spend the night in his wheelchair at San Francisco Airport. The very next day, another airline, United, put him and his wheelchair on a flight to Florida to visit his mother, as he says, with absolutely no trouble at all. The lawsuit comes to trial next Monday. Pete?
It hardly seems that long ago, but it was 10 years ago tonight that we sat down at our TVs and watched something unique in American history. A president resigning. 2 years of doubt over Watergate had included a famous statement.
We've got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook.
That claim came under attack at the Senate's Watergate hearings. They were followed by impeachment hearings until just one thing would head off Nixon's impeachment. Just one thing.
I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow.
10 years ago tomorrow, Nixon left the White House for San Clemente. Coming up, we will take, we'll be visiting Bob MacKenzie live from Los Angeles, a place called Bijan's. For those of you who are familiar with it, for those of you who aren't, stay with us. And another hot day in the Bay Area. Channel 7's Beverly Johnson will tell us all when we return. But let's look at how things look right now around the area.
Safeway invites you to delicious savings on Treetop apple juice and apple cider. Get 2 big 64-ounce bottles for just $3. And take advantage of Safeway's low prices on California-grown Foster Farms chicken, including fresh whole fryers, just 67 cents a pound. 7-Up or Light Cola in jumbo 2-liter bottles are now only 99 cents each. Hundreds of other specials, too, right now at Safeway.
Safeway is a proud sponsor of the 1984 U.S. Olympic team.
Introducing the ITT Extra Personal Computer to help America work smarter.
Almost finished.
Sorry to rush. Because success comes from personal productivity.
These just came in. We're ahead by 26%.
Great. Can you bring up the campaign schedule?
Yes, sir. Your schedule, our standing, and your speech.
Thanks, Julie.
Good luck, Senator.
Work smart, America, with the ITT Extra Personal Computer.
Communication. Communication separates the serious investor from an investor. Communication with a financial consultant about what makes you feel comfortable and uncomfortable. This communication will ultimately determine how satisfied you'll be, which is why we recommend you invest your time with us before you invest your money with us. Shearson Lehman American Express and the serious investor. Minds over money.
Sometimes you just have to get away. To put things in perspective, wind down. This helps. Amphora. There's no rush here. Just plenty of time to concentrate on the really important things. Come on, boy. Let's go fishing.
Melon, bite-free Amphora. The comfortable smoke.
Just as predicted, Beverly Johnson said last night that it would sneak in and cool things off, and it snuck in and cooled things off to a degree.
But you know, it was still just a little bit. It was still quite hot out there today. Somebody out there must obviously think it's so nice to break records. By golly, because we did it again. We did it twice, 2 days in a row. The readings were cooler today, but nonetheless record-breaking. 82 today in San Francisco. 92 was the high yesterday, and that's a record breaker. And the last record was for this date was back in 1975. Also in San Jose, they reached 95 degrees. Have you noticed something has been missing in your lives lately and in your skies? I'm talking about, yes, our dear old friend, the fog. It's coming back, and I'm sure it's coming back with welcome arms. My forecast calls for the fog and low clouds to continue spreading locally inland tonight through the morning, burning off early tomorrow with afternoon sunshine. The temperatures will be reasonably seasonable in the coastal sections, but still hot through Friday. Well, while here in the Bay, it's the fog making a comeback. In L.A., it's the smog, and that's greatly due to the increase in automobile traffic this week. It will be foggy and cloudy along the coast early in the day tomorrow, and then sunshine by afternoon. Temperatures reaching the 90s inland. For here, hot inland, cool along the coast for tomorrow.
All right, Deb. All this week, Bob MacKenzie has wandered the freeways, canyons, and body shops of La La Land, the kingdom of a little of this and a whole lot of that, ferreting out the big stories behind the Olympics. Tonight, live from Los Angeles, a place that has reinvented, well, redefined the term obscene overindulgence. Is that sort of an exaggeration, Bob?
I don't know that obscene is quite the word, but as for being stories behind the Olympics, this one is way, way behind the Olympics. A couple of years ago, I found myself on Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills, which was perhaps my first mistake. I went into a store called Bijan. I found the place so amazing that I wanted to see if it was still there. So this afternoon, we went on a shopping trip. Even on Rodeo Drive, that chicest and most high-priced of shopping centers, anyone who wishes can walk into a store and look at the merchandise. Now, if you don't want to shop in a place where just any old sort of person can walk in off the street, well, how about a place more like this? To shop here, first of all, you need an appointment. Hello, I have an appointment to see Mr. Bijan.
Come in, please.
Thank you.
Hello, hi.
Bijan?
Nice to see you again, Mr.
Yeah, it's a great pleasure.
My pleasure.
The store looks wonderful.
Thank you. I'm so happy that you are back again.
Oh, I'm so happy. Bijan, who uses only that name, is not the best-known designer of men's clothing in the world, but he is certainly the most exclusive. He sells his creations by appointment only. Some of his customers are famous. All of them are very rich. Every item for sale was created by Bijan, cut from fabric made in his own factory. A Bijan suit costs $1,800 to $2,000. No, a silk shirt like that, how much would that be, for instance?
$450.
$450. Yes. Now, that's sort of a lot of money for a shirt, but I suppose it's a special shirt.
It is a very special shirt. The materials are special, the silk from China, and also they pay for the service here, our customers.
A popular new item in Bijan's line is this limited edition revolver, a handmade item in gold that comes in a mink glove and a lucite case and sells for a neat $10,000. Or you could pick up one of Bijan's fur bid throws, gray fox for $48,000, chinchilla at $98,000. 10 minutes of Bijan's time costs a client $40,000 as a rule, but in our case he made an exception. Yeah, oh, Bijan, thank you so much. I didn't actually buy anything today.
Absolutely, no problem.
No problem, okay, well, good. Bijan, I see these $400 shirts and $2,000 suits, and I wonder what kind of people are buying these things?
I do have right now over 20,000 clients from all over the world, from everywhere, from south to north, from
kings
Japan.
And princes and,
oh,
and
yes,
movie stars.
I deal with many royal family, the family of royal families, the kings, presidents, senators, doctors, attorneys, businessmen, with many type of personality. And the funny thing is that those people are so strong and so difficult, but I have them. Because believe me, and that's a beautiful feeling. I am a doctor to them, but in clothing.
Well, that's Bijan. I have been there before, but I'm still amazed.
Have you purchased anything at Bijan's? I mean, the chinchilla maybe?
I've never been able to decide between the silk suit at $2,000 and the cashmere suit at $2,200, and I just have to go away and think it over.
Well, boy, we're certainly lucky because at least they don't have women's, right? Just only men's. Pete will be down there shopping, but I guess I can't, huh?
That's the news and a few other things. Thanks for being with us.
We're going to have more Olympic coverage coming up for the next 90 minutes. Tonight you're going to be seeing the U.S. take on Canada in men's volleyball. But for us, that's it. Thanks for being with us tonight. We'll see you back here at 11 with more news, sports, and weather. Good night.